And welcome to InViewTV. This is Michael El-Bacha. I am here with a TV producer, a reporter, a journalist. Rita Rizk, welcome to InViewTV. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. Yourself?
Very well, thank you. Can you tell us a bit about what you do?
Yep. So I'm a journalist, a reporter, producer, researcher, pretty much everything in one. Been doing it for about 5 years and started off in print. So started off in newspapers, interning there, and then got a cadetship, and then moved to a bit of radio, then did a bit of online, and then TV. So it's a bit of a process to get up to TV, but now I work for 10, freelance producing, and prior to that I was with 7.
Yeah, you were. I know you were Today Tonight, one of the amazing reporters on Today Tonight, and after 25 years it's been taken off air.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
Look, it was very devastating and quite shocking actually. We did see it coming because Today Tonight aired in Sydney for a very long time, and now it's been cut for 4 years from Sydney. So my role was being the East Coast Bureau reporter and producer, and so we were working for Adelaide and Perth. And Adelaide and Perth had a very strong viewership and loyal viewers, and then it got cut. So this was last week, so very fresh. And you know, it's quite devastating because it's the only show of its kind. It's been on for so long, and you know, we've got very, very talented people on the team that are now out of work. So you know, it's a sad time for the TV industry.
Apparently, and being 25 years, I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans out there that are disappointed as well. I mean, with the show going off air. So you say now you're on Channel 10.
Yep.
So just a freelancer?
Yeah. So once Today Tonight got cancelled, it kind of gave a little bit more of, you know, 10 the opportunity to extend to an hour-and-a-half news. And so they did that, and now they need more freelance producers and reporters. So now I'm part of that team, freelancing on a casual basis, just until I kind of figure out where I'm going to go later on. So just taking it day by day, I guess.
Well, have you always been interested in journalism? I mean, can you tell us about your background?
Yeah, I mean, look, journalism, so when I started at uni, I was originally wanting to be a journalist, and then they pretty much said, don't do it because it's very insecure, the money's not great, you're going to work long hours, and they were absolutely right. So, so then I kind of studied at university to do public relations. I worked in PR for a bit while I was at uni, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. Then I kind of wanted to see the other side of PR. I wanted to see what it was like to be a journalist. So I worked in newspapers for a month, volunteering as just a volunteer. They loved me, I loved them, and we just fell in love, and that was it. I got offered a cadetship with Fairfax, and I'm very grateful for that because that started my career, and now I love it more than anything.
Well, Fairfax, you were actually a crime reporter.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
How was that, reporting on crime?
Yeah, look, it was very challenging because you obviously have to deal with a lot of high-end, you know, detectives and inspectors, and then obviously grieving families as well. Be in and out of court, you're dealing with criminals, you're dealing with people who are very upset about something that must have happened to their child. They just lost the child in a car accident or a fight or whatever it is. So look, it's a bit of a roller coaster being a crime reporter, and I enjoyed it, but I knew that it was time to move on and do something a little bit more, you know, something a little bit more lively and a little bit more fresh, because doing crime really actually gets to you emotionally.
Absolutely.
But it was very,
Yeah.
very, very good. Yeah, loved it.
And after that, you went to Tasmania for a stint before
Yeah,
you joined.
so-
Yeah, what were you doing there?
Yeah, so I did, I worked with Fairfax, then I actually worked with News Corp for the Fairfield Advance as well, and I did a bit of work with the Daily Telegraph, and then after that I decided that was it, it's time for me to go to TV, because that's what I wanted to do. But it was just very difficult to get to TV when, you know, when you're starting out. So I started with Sky, and I produced there for online, digital, and then I started producing for news as well. And I did that for 2 years. And that was huge because I did weekend work, night work, overnight work, and very, very long hours. But it landed me a position with Southern Cross Stereo in Tasmania, which is now Channel 7, as a reporter. So then I reported there for about 7 months and then landed a gig with Today Tonight.
let's talk about your background
Yep.
and media diversity. What's your intake on the media diversity, and what's your background? You're Lebanese, sorry?
Yep, so I'm Lebanese, and having been in the media industry for about close to 6 years now, it's not that diverse. So, I mean, it's kind of, it's good that I have this role where I can go into a newsroom or whatever it is and teach people about Lebanese, teach people about, you know, my culture, my traditions, what we eat, what we don't eat, you know, and there's all these stereotypes that are associated with being Lebanese, but I can just go into a newsroom and kind of just say, look, this is not how all Lebanese people are, you know, so, and yeah, I mean, every newsroom needs some sort of, they need that diversity because we're targeting people from all different nationalities. So yeah, I mean, everywhere I've gone, people have been very happy that I've been there because they've learnt so much from, you know, from me.
You were actually recently in Lebanon.
Yep.
About the movement over there. Do you go back home very often?
Yeah. So I tend to go back every year or every 2 years. And I was recently there for my honeymoon, so I just got married 6 months ago.
Congratulations, recent marriage.
Thank you, yeah. So I went with my husband, Sean, and he loved it. He fell in love with Lebanon, actually. And for me, it's home. All my family's there, so yeah.
Your mum's here with us, actually, behind the scenes. And how's important and supportive of your family?
Yeah, very important. Yeah, so I'm very lucky because my mum and my dad have been supportive from day one with whatever it is that I wanted to do, and they've been my rock, really. So yeah.
Who inspires you?
Both my mum and my dad and my husband. So my husband, because he's very patient and he's saying is, you know, what would Jesus do? He's very much like that. He looks at everybody equally. My mum, because she's very strong in everything that she does, very reliable. She's raised 4 kids on her own pretty much with the help of my dad, but she did it all on her own. And my dad, because he's very much into education and succeeding and being really ambitious.
Your dad's quite very successful, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Can we talk about him for a minute?
Yeah, that's fine. Look, he's got his own college. He came here with nothing from Lebanon 20 years ago from the war, and built this college now, which is university, part of Deakin University. Wow. So he's got students, international students, and he's a doctor. So,
fantastic! Yeah. Oh, fantastic! And
yeah.
Can I ask you, what's your passion for what you do? Why are you in journalism? Why are you so passionate about it?
I guess it's more because you're telling people stories. So all the little people that have these incredible stories that cannot be told, you're taking it and you're pushing it out to a wider audience. And I guess because we've had a huge impact on people's lives, whether it be to raise money for them, whether it be to catch the bad guys, whether it be to change people's lives financially or health-wise, or help people save a bit of money, you know, put more money in their pocket with consumer stories. So it's just that passion that you can change people's lives every single day.
Cool. And do you have a mentor? Yeah?
Yes.
I was reading about you may have a mentor.
Yep. So my boss at Today Tonight, my former boss, David Richardson, pretty much taught me everything I need to know. And he's the reason why I can say I've made it this far in my career. And also at Fairfax, I had my editor, Justine Doherty. She pretty much taught me everything in print. Who else do I need to thank? I need to thank Jesse Gilmore at Southern Cross. So I had a few mentors along the way, and they're the reason why I became where I'm at the moment. Obviously, I still have a lot to learn, but yeah.
I can see you being my mentor right now. So just wanted to ask you, let's go back to media diversity here for a moment, because it's such an important topic. What's your personal thoughts on that?
Well, I think that every newsroom needs to be a little bit more diverse. Yeah. They need to have more people from different backgrounds, more people that can speak different languages. I was the only one at 7 that could speak another language, pretty much. And also, you know, read and write another language too. So, and it's not just that. I mean, it's the fact that we live in Sydney, and Sydney is so multicultural, but the newsroom is not. Just doesn't make sense. So, you know, I feel that it can improve if we just add and inject a little bit more culture and diversity into each newsroom. We'd be able to speak to everyone.
Because there's Antoinette Latouf is a cousin of mine, and you know her as well. She's got media diversity at the moment happening And you're involved with that at all with her?
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah. But okay, she's on Channel 10 now as well.
Yep.
At the moment. So let's just talk about your passion outside of what you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess my passion outside of what I do is my family. My family comes first. That's first and foremost, including my husband, and also traveling. I love to travel, see the world, and I also sing. So I'm not a huge singer, but I also have a passion for singing, and yeah, but traveling would be the biggest thing now. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Can I also ask you, what's your favourite quote?
My favourite quote is when one door closes, another door opens.
Well, Tonight has closed for you. Channel 10 has opened up for you.
Exactly.
I can see you doing amazing things.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell your fans on InViewTV?
I guess, whatever it is that you want to do, just work hard for it. Even if people tell you, no, it's going to be too difficult, just work hard for it and just keep going. Have a direction as to where you want to go. Because
that's what my next question was. What do you have for those aspiring journalists out there?
It's not glamorous. If you think it's glamorous, it's absolutely not. It's very long hours, very little pay, and you really have to work your way up. So you have to do everything before you get to where you want to get, unless you're extremely lucky or you know a lot of people. But I think if you want to be a journalist, it's not about the fame and it's not about your name getting out there. It's about really delving into stories and trying to investigate everything you can and then putting it out there so that it can make a difference somehow. When I was doing Tonight, it was longer form, so I'd pretty much do stories, take time researching them, making phone calls, lining up interviews, going out of the office, speaking to people. But if you're working in news, it's getting across all the news and then lining up things for reporters or just getting out there and getting your story together, whether it be researching, chatting to people, going to press conferences, interviewing credible people to get your story together, and then voice it, package it, let it go to air.
Wow.
So
it's pretty full on.
It's a full on day, yeah.
Cool. How can people stay in touch with everything that you do?
Yeah.
Is there a website or a Facebook or Instagram page?
Yeah, so I've got Facebook, Rita Rizk Journalist. I've got Twitter, RITARIZK, that's my handle. And how else? And I guess you can just YouTube my stories as well.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on InViewTV. Again, the amazing Rita.
Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on InViewTV.